Let them cry it out. Don't hold them too much, you'll spoil them. They are just manipulating you. If you are a parent, you know this chorus. It sounds like tough love. It sounds logical. It is exactly how an entire generation was raised. But what if the very advice we've been told builds strong, independent children is actually doing the exact opposite? Recent breakthroughs in brain imaging technology have revealed a terrifying truth. These traditional methods aren't teaching independence. They are biologically wiring the infant brain for emotional shutdown, anxiety, and chronic stress. Welcome to Baby Behavior Decoded. Today, we are dismantling 5 generational parenting myths, looking inside your baby's nervous system, and showing you the science-backed alternatives you must use instead. Let's decode the truth. Number 1. The cry it out illusion. The logic seems bulletproof. Leave a crying baby alone, and they will eventually learn to self-soothe. It gives exhausted parents a break. But neurologically? Infant self-soothing is a biological fiction. Here is the science. An infant's brain literally lacks the neural pathways required for emotional regulation. The hardware simply does not exist yet. When a baby is left alone in distress, they don't process it as a learning moment. They perceive it as life or death abandonment. This triggers a massive release of cortisol. It is a full-blown biological panic attack. So why do they eventually go quiet? They stop crying because their nervous system realizes no one is coming. To survive, the brain forces the body into an emergency shutdown to conserve energy. It looks like peace on the outside, but brain scans show their stress hormones remain at toxic levels. They didn't learn to soothe. They learned to give up. The fix: co-regulation. When they cry, they need to borrow your mature nervous system. By holding them, you are acting as their external prefrontal cortex. You are literally laying the bricks for their future emotional resilience. Number 2, the distraction trap. Your toddler falls, and the instinctual advice is rapid distraction. You're fine, look at the shiny toy. The tears stop. But what just happened inside their brain? You just taught their nervous system to completely bypass emotional processing. When a child experiences fear or pain, the amygdala fires up. For that biological alarm to turn off safely, the emotion must be felt and resolved. When you forcefully distract them, that emotion doesn't disappear. It gets trapped. The stress cycle remains incomplete. You are wiring their brain to suppress discomfort rather than process it. The fix: validate, then regulate. Psychologists call it name it to tame it. Say, you fell. That was scary, and I am right here. By naming the feeling, you help their brain process the stress hormone, turning the alarm off naturally. Stop for a moment. Think about the most vulnerable you have ever felt in your entire life. True fear or overwhelm. Now imagine reaching out for the one person who makes you feel safe and watching them intentionally turn their back and close the door. Because someone told them that comforting you would spoil you. That is the exact visceral trauma we inflict when we listen to the older generation's favorite rule. Number 3, withholding affection for independence. Let's be scientifically clear. You cannot spoil a baby with affection. It is neurologically impossible. An infant's brain is biologically programmed to require physical proximity. Go back 200,000 years. An independent baby on the savannah was a dead baby. Touch is a survival mechanism. Being held triggers the release of oxytocin, which physically builds the neural pathways for secure attachment. When you intentionally withhold touch, the brain adapts to the deficit. It creates an anxious, hypervigilant architecture that constantly fears abandonment. The fix: hold your baby. Responsive, excessive holding in the first year is exactly the fuel required to build a fiercely independent toddler of the second year. Independence is born from absolute security. Number 4, the forced feeding override. Just one more bite. Previous generations pushed food constantly, but your baby's brain comes factory installed with a highly sophisticated piece of hardware, the hypothalamus. This region perfectly regulates hunger. When a baby turns their head away or clamps their mouth shut, the hypothalamus is saying, "Data received, we are full." When you fly the metaphorical airplane into their mouth for that extra bite, you are actively overriding their biological signals. Do this consistently, and you wire their brain to ignore its own cues. You lay the foundation for emotional eating later in life. The fix: trust their biology. You control what is offered. Their brain controls how much. If they turn away, the meal is over, period. Number 5. Isolation for big emotions. When a toddler has a meltdown, the classic response is the timeout, but brain imaging has debunked this. Physical isolation during severe emotional dysregulation actually amplifies panic. They're drowning in a tsunami of big feelings they don't understand, and you just took away their only life raft. A toddler in a timeout chair doesn't have the developmental capacity for moral reflection. They sit there feeling terrified, rejected, and disconnected from the source of their safety. The fix: replace timeouts with time-ins. When they lose control, they need your regulated nervous system the most. Set the boundary, but do not withdraw your love. I won't let you hit me, but I will sit right here with you until the storm passes. Connection must always come before correction. Our parents didn't have functional MRI machines. They did the best they could. But today, we know better. We now have the power to literally build healthier, more resilient human brains right inside our living rooms. We're the generation breaking the cycle. If this video validated your parenting instincts, hit the like button and subscribe to Baby Behavior Decoded. And tell me in the comments down below, which piece of traditional advice drives you the most crazy? Keep trusting your instincts. I'll see you in the next video.